we are here with Sos Sosowski, who is working on Mosh Pit Simulator. For those who are not familiar with you and your work, how would you introduce them to it?
So I call myself a mad scientist of video games. I create games that are crazy. I like to experiment. I like to create games for myself. This is how I started making. When I was little, I had a Commodore 64. At times that people didn't have Commodore 64 anymore. So, and I had this book that helped me like learn how to make games for that. But I knew that if I make games, nobody ever has that computer. Like, people don't have it no more. So if I make a game, it's gonna be just for me. And I made them, and then I played them, and then I joined them. So I kind of still doing that. I make games that I want to play. I make games that are fun for me. And I make games that I think are fun for everyone. I hope so.
And so your latest project, I've kind of seen it, through Twitter and stuff over the years. It's kind of progressed quite a bit, but it's a little bit hard to explain. Like, how would you describe Mosh Pit Simulator to people?
So Mosh Pit Simulator is a game about harassing zombies. The world is full of these brainless, boneless creatures that are kind of naked, just because if you don't have bones in your body, there's nowhere for your clothes to hold on to. They just fall off due to a terrible incident. And you kind of just hate it. These guys they're harmless. They just want to live their lives. They just want to drive cars, do some shopping, go to work and do like human stuff, but they're zombies, so they don't have brains, so it doesn't really work out. They keep crashing the cars, toppling over things in shops and just making this entire mess. And you just decided that it annoys you, so you turn their life into hell. So basically you can like take the zombie and like glue his foot to his head, and it's really funny, but then when you think about it, it's really sad, and the zombie has his foot glued to his head forever, and it's kind of undead, so it's gonna be like this for eternity.
Amazing. That sounds like a lot of fun. So the project is a VR project, right?
Yes, the project is a VR project. I started it after GDC 2 years ago. What I was really skeptical about VR in the beginning, and then I went to GDC 2016, and I've seen a lot of potential in things that indie developers do, things that Colin Northway and Sarah Northway did with fantastic contraption, things that Dirk Van Helden did with Space Pirate Trainer, things that Julie Hyde did with selfie tennis and ski jump. These are the pioneers of the really, really cool VR things that are different, that are made for VR. They aren't ports of existing games. They aren't pushing the VR just to be on VR. They are made for this real device, and I was like, I would like to try that. So I got a Vive dev kit. I just wanted to try and make some. There was very little content, so I was trying to make something small and free for people to play with. And then I made this GIF of, I had this human model that was really wobbly, and I put it in the game, and I was like, how about I made this punching game when you punch people's faces? And then I was thinking I need an AI for the model, the human thing, so it needs to move around. So I gave this really, really simple solution that if the chest is below, it's just like this ragdolly kind of thing that's really soft, and if the chest is below 1 meter, just bump up the chest a bit, so it just kept bumping around. And then I started pushing them around. I recorded a GIF. I put it on Twitter, and within 24 hours, it got 4 million views. I woke up in the morning. I look at the number. I was like, "Oh my god! Now my fate is sealed. I'm gonna finish this game. This is gonna take years." And here I am. 2 years ago. 2 years later, I'm still making it.
Amazing. I mean, I feel like that's super. First of all, like, without people saying, we'll put some video in so people can see this movement, but the movement is super. It's like it's not the uncanny valley, it's like the uncanny Grand Canyon. It's like so strange, kind of body horror, like it's very compelling to look at, but also very disturbing. And
so a lot of people when I put GIFs online, they don't have sound. A lot of people tell me that this looks creepy and kind of scary, and this would be like a really good horror game if I add like scary lighting. So I'm not gonna add scary lighting. I'm gonna add bossa nova music.
Amazing. Awesome. And so, I mean, I love that idea that like you created something small, you put it out to the world, and then you get that feedback and you say, okay, this is something that I need to pursue, right? And so I think that's a really interesting lesson just in terms of showing work early, right, and responding to the public.
Yes, so, yeah, this gained a lot of traction. It wasn't a playable thing, it was something that you can just look at, but this is what VR is about. Like, I like to call VR things that they're not games, they're not interactive pieces, they're not movies, they're somewhere not even in between that. They're beyond that. They're their own thing because they use this technology that wasn't there before. And people call them VR experiences. I don't think that fully covers what the VR thing that we're making is. And being there, I think it's nice to explore and not only explore as a developer, but let the users explore as the players, as the recipients of what you do. So allow people to interact with the things that you're creating in unexpected ways, to have a lot of things to build upon, a lot of like crossover mechanics that are able to feel the player really in charge of the world that they exist in. A lot of VR experiences that are out there, like I call them like the casual ones, like coming from casual games. You think about casual VR experiences that they do not involve anything too ferocious, no motion, not much above anything that you would experience doing, not only seeing, because VR is about experiencing it with eyes and sound and yourself inside it, but it's also about doing these things. So even if you're on an alien planet, but your job is to plant carrots, well, I can plant carrots without any VR kit. So it's nice to be on an alien planet, but how about I shoot zombies with like a bazooka? That would be cool.